Hey everybody, welcome back to Snap Fresh Farm and my YouTube channel, and I hope that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I hope you get something out of it. Today I was going to get into how I actually create the tubs that the hydroponic system uses, and go through the process of what are the parts of the tub, how is the tub created, what's the hardware that needs to be used for it. How do you set up the neti cups in it, and how do you set this up so that you get a good flow of water, and how do you create the tubs themselves. So like I said, I hope this is a good video for you to watch if you want to set up your own hydroponic system and you want to create your own hydroponic tubs for a small setup like the 5-shelf system that I have. And hopefully this is helpful. So let's go. I'll show you. So you'll notice on the right hand side here we've got a tub set up. It's got neti cups in it. It's got some plants growing in it. They're just starting. This is after about a week of having them in there. Some of them have been in there even less time. But this one's got the water running. It's got the air stones. It's even got some good little tiny roots growing, and it's got good aeration. It's got the flow going out. There's water coming in and then going out through there, and then going through that pipe that goes all the way around and then back to the tub that's in the back of this setup. You'll notice next to it is an empty one, and this empty tub has a little nozzle at the end that I've put into the tub. I drilled a hole and then put the nozzle in and tightened it up, and that goes directly into the receptacle that's in the PVC down here, and you'll see it just fits right in there. This one is also fit right into there as well, so that literally goes in. Well, let's see, it goes right in there and it fits right in there perfectly. And the tub is one I got from Walmart, and to make it so that the roots don't see a lot of sunlight, I've actually spray painted the outside of the tub, so it's all blackened on the outside with black spray paint. I just used satin black for I guess it's for painting plastic. I did leave. I took some tape and put a piece of tape on here before I painted it, so that I could see the water level. And that's just an open area. It's a clear area. It doesn't affect the roots that much, but it's a clear area where you can see where the water level is when it's growing. As far as the other parts of the tub, when you go to buy the tubs, make sure you get the top. You'll need a top for the tub. Now this top has been on this one for a little while. I drilled 3-inch holes in it, and I also spray painted this top. And when I spray painted it, worked for a little while, and then the spray paint actually started coming off. You'll notice these areas where the spray paint has peeled off, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to bother to spray paint these. I'm going to actually go the route that I did over here with a plastic. It's black plastic for growing. It's very thick plastic, and I'm going to cut a piece. I'm going to make the new piece a little bit bigger so I don't have any light possibly getting through the top like on this one. So I've actually learned some things since I started. I learned that spray paint doesn't stay on too well, and it starts coming off and peeling off at the top, so I'm not doing that anymore. Also notice I've got some other parts here. The outflow, you can buy these parts in a hydroponic store. This is the outflow valve, and it actually goes right into the base, right down there. I drilled a hole, put that in the bottom of it, and then this actually goes in right into that hole, screw it into the hole. And what you want is, you'll notice that it's at a certain depth. There's a spacer down below. The piece down here, down at the very base, is a spacer, and that gets screwed onto this other piece, which is the piece that keeps all the roots and everything out. And it's got like a grid kind of to keep the big pieces of roots, or even some of the hydrotone pebbles from going into the into the base and going into where the pump is in the base. Another part of what you want in your hydroponic systems, you want a lot of aeration. So I have these aeration stones. They're flat stones, and they hook up to the air pump in the back, and the hose goes right into there. These air stones will go right at the bottom of the bin, and you'll see one of them like that. And I have 2 of these in each bin, and this is to give the plants lots of aeration. And I've got 2 of these. I'm going to put both of these in here like this. They have suction cups to keep them to the bottom, and they hold to the bottom really well. So you want to have those aeration stones in there, and they get plugged into this pump, which is currently pumping air into the other tank right now. But I've got 2 hoses. One hose here, the hose here, and then there's another hose. And those hoses will go into little tiny holes that I drilled in the back. See these holes right here? Those hoses will go in there, and then they'll feed right to where the stones are. As you'll see, I have the hoses, and they now go to the air stones. The air stones are now into the tub. They're well placed in the tub, and they will not move too much. I mean, they move back and forth, but the suction cups keep them down. So the tub's ready for air. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the actual water pipe that feeds the water into the tub, into the back. The pump in the back tub, this tub has 27 gallons of nutrient water in it right now, in this yellow and black tub. I got that at Lowe's. Wasn't too expensive. It's got a pump that's attached to this big black hose that comes up. It gets split, and the black hose is currently feeding water, nutrient water, to this tub that's got things growing in it. And then it also has a T channel or T valve that goes to a on-off valve, and then that goes over to here. This is where the second hose is to go to this second tub here. And I've got an attachment in my hand. This will actually go, it's got a rubber grommet right here, and it's an attachment that looks like this, and that will actually attach right into the hose. That goes into the back, through the back of the tub, right where that hole is that you saw in the tub. And then this hose here, let me take that here. This hose here has the other side of the attachment with another rubber grommet. That will attach right onto the end of this hose. We'll push that on, it actually just feeds, it just pushes right onto it. And it's got kind of it goes right onto the pipe, and it's a little bit bigger than the pipe, so it takes a little bit to get it on there. But I'll put this on and then show you the end product. Alright, so that hose is now attached. You'll see that I just attached it right here, and I tightened down this fitting back here. This fitting is now tightened by hand. You don't really need to tighten it much more than that. And that will feed water into this bucket. Water will go into the bucket, and then it'll go out. And it'll go out through this attachment here, and it will feed down into that the white PVC pipe that goes right underneath it. PVC pipe comes around, the PVC pipe goes right into the bucket. So it becomes a circular setup. Solution goes out of the bin, comes up into the bucket, goes in to this bucket, and then goes back out, and it just keeps going around and around. And I change the solution in this big bucket every 3 to 4 weeks, depending on what my parts per million is, and also how long it's been in there, and how the nutrient is looking and working with the plants. If the plant starts showing that I'm not having enough nutrient getting to them, I'll change it. I'll make sure that my pH is correct and everything else is correct before I start it up. So this bin now has everything in it. It's placed. All it needs is the top on it, and I'll do that next. Okay, I put my top on. My top is underneath here. I put the top on the bucket. It's got clamps to hold it down right here. Put that clamp on. Come around the back. Make sure this clamp is on as well. That one goes up and over. Then what I did is I took this plastic. It's just black plastic. You use it for planting, and it's real heavy duty plastic. What I did was my my handy dandy box knife, I just took the plastic, I put it over the top, and I cut an X in the plastic, and I did that for each one of the different holes. And then what's really good about this is, what I found is that without this plastic, the top will let light in, because the spray paint I used, it wasn't very good, didn't really cover really well, and you'll get a lot of light into the actual roots. You don't want any light in your roots. You want it to be like the ground where there's no light. So this keeps the light out, and it does a really good job. And it helps to clean things up, because you can always take this off and just wash it off, whereas your top sometimes get pretty gunky. So that takes care of putting the plastic on. You'll notice that I put the plastic all the way around. It's got some excess here. I'll cut some of that off before I'm done. But then what I do is I take my neti cups full of hydrogen stones, and I just place those right in there, and they fit really nice. When you cut it, you make sure that it's not cut too far, and those will be filled with plants probably in the next week or so. I've got some already growing, and for now I'm just going to keep these all in here. This one back here needs to be filled with hydrogen. I have pebbles for that. I'll just fill it up with hydrogen pebbles. And then what will happen is I'll take the plants I've got plants growing up here. I've got rockwill, and I've got some plants growing in the back here. You'll see there's little ones growing right out of the rockwill right there, and then I got a bunch of other ones. And what I'll do is I'll plant those once they get big enough to go into the hydroton, and then I'll kick off this new batch, and it should grow very well. What I'll do is the edges on these, I'll probably just take some tape and tape them around so that they're not just hanging around. But that's how you make the bucket, the hydroponic bucket that the plants go into, and that's really all there is to it. And like I said, they fit right into these parts of the PVC, these receptacles in the PVC that I put. And then at the end of the PVC, I've got a clean out. So if you want to do that, it helps dramatically. If you get hydroton stuck in there or something weird going on in there, you can just clean it out and run a cleaner all the way around. You can and then clean it all the way down to the tub. I've got some other things growing in dirt down at the bottom, and I also have, after doing a lot of checking and testing, I am planting in coconut coir. I've got lettuce growing up here, and I've got a lot less lettuce growing. Like I had a ton of lettuce the first time in some of my other videos that you might have seen. Now I've cut back, and I'm waiting for those to grow too. Over here I've got Swiss chard growing. That is in dirt. I find that works really well in dirt. It doesn't work as well in the hydroton. But I also have my fungus gnats, and I've got my Pingicula gigantea, and that is doing very well with the fungus gnats and getting rid of them. And I love that little plant. It's been growing like crazy, and it's kind of fun to watch it gobble up all the fungus gnats, and they seem to like it too, so that's good. It's a good symbiotic relationship. Gets rid of my fungus gnats, and it eats, and it gets fertilized by them. So anyway, on that note, that's the video for today. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that helps to understand better how to make one of these bins and what the parts are that need to go into the bin to make it. So have a good day. Bye now.